This Dead Prez on deck. You in tune to Splash Magazine.
All day, every motherfucking day.
Yeah, I think they hate me cause they see your boy shining. Every day is a hustle, I got to keep grinding. I'm on the phone, handling my business, I'm in the booth.
We had a fucking great time this evening. You know what I'm saying? Speaking from on behalf, my name is M-1, by the way. Speaking on behalf of my comrades who are here right here at the Splash Festival, I had a good ass time today.
Handling my business, I'm rocking shows. Handling my business.
Was it? I don't know.
Yeah, for me.
Was it? Yeah, it was our first time, man.
Yeah. To keep grinding, I'm on the phone. Handling my business.
Yeah, high energy. A lot of people, you know what I mean? A lot of hip hop support, you know what I mean? And just raw. It was like some rock and roll hip hop.
I fuck with it real hard, man. The energy was really crazy.
We always in Europe, don't get it twisted, you know what I'm saying? We come over here, get this guap, get these euros.
Munich, London,
yeah,
Hamburg, Frankfurt. It's just one time, but look out, we're coming back, information age, all through Europe. Believe me, we look out.
Every day is a hustle, I got to keep grinding, I'm on the phone.
Yeah, we doing both. Well, me personally, I came out here to see Ice Cube, but then, you know, we figured we'll rap too while we out here and promote our new album, Information Age, that's coming out in November. You know what I mean? Get it all in. You know what I mean? Make the most out of Germany while we're here.
Handling my business, I'm on a plane. Handling my business.
Oh yeah, we come from the same line. You know, we definitely connected. You know, we gotta get more connectivated. You know what I mean? But yeah, we just out here showing support. Mash Out Posse, MOP.
Man, it about to be crazy, man. That thing ugly. We about to put out some shit in the market. You know what I'm saying? That really, I hope y'all ready. Nah, Mac, I know you're ready. You're gonna be ready for. Let's turn the page. That's what we're about to do. We're gonna turn the page. You know, Ice Cube motivated us. we motivated by seeing MOP. It's really in the spirit of right now that we making the music that we making, and that's why we're here. Like, let y'all know it's really right now. It really is. It's gonna go down. Straight up.
I'm with it, hook or cook, you gotta lick and we can hit it. You say you got a plug, if you do then what's the tip?
I mean, it's been coined. That's on I'm African from Let's Get Free. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere in between the WA and PE. But definitely, we taking it a step further at this particular point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, what we saying is, you know, as black men and growing up in America, you know what I mean, the things that we see, the culture that we live in there, that produce the kind of music that Ice Cube make or Dead Prez make is the same sentiment. You know what I mean? And you know, we all pieces to one whole, you know what I'm saying?
And look though, the information age shit is going forward. The new spec, a brand new sound, and all of that shit on top of it. You know what I mean? You know, like my nigga Stick said, it's one of the albums he was waiting to make since Let's Get Free. So the new sound is gonna be, I think, capitalizing on this particular moment. You know what I mean? That high energy, that what's to happen next. You know what I'm saying? That man versus me, that micro macro. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
And it truly don't concern me unless you're trying to turn me on to one of your connection. Let me get it.
Man, this shit got MOP, Ice Cube, Dead Prez, your boy Umi. Tomorrow there's Jay-Z, Saigon. How we ain't gonna feel this shit? This is us, you know what I mean? This is our culture.
So watch them start coming for the snow when they hear I'm back on, and I got it for the low.
On our way here, we was analyzing the different graphs all on the way here, you know what I'm saying? And what happens is, just as African people, you know what I'm saying, like our culture expands throughout all terrains, you know what I'm saying? We are those breadwinners. We're the people that the world looks towards for culture, for just how to descriptively display ourselves, how to put this music down, whatever it is. And we doing, and like right now, we gotta support shit that's just not trying to sabotage what we trying to do as people, but trying to present it to the people in the realest way. So of course we here, you know what I'm saying, and we here with like-minded soldiers, so you know we can continue repping what we believe in, and the people gonna rep with us, and they gonna ride with us.
I just want to say something to that too about hip hop culture being so present in Germany. You know what I mean? It's like you see it when we travel in different places. You see the youth culture, and you see hip hop is like an international identity. You know what I mean? And it's like no matter where you living at, it's a certain understanding of respect for this music and for the culture of the street, the culture of the alternative, the culture of the innovator. You know what I mean? That unite people, and you know what I mean? And I think it's real healthy because it's the bridge. You know what I mean? That's gonna bring so much more like real world unity, real world global international politics. You know what I mean? I think hip hop and music and this culture is a real bridge and a catalyst for that. You know what I mean? Among other things, you know what I mean? But definitely I recognize that's how we can sit down and chop it up.
Straight up. Hey, hip hop is a language. It's the voice of the people that's dying to make changes. Intercontinental and influential. Oh shit, y'all ain't
Only raw cook, cause no time for bitches. I gotta make a move, yeah, stay about business.
There's nothing wrong with hip hop becoming a business or being commercial. It's what are you selling in the commercial? You know what I mean? If it's a commercial for health and happiness and peace and justice and power, what's wrong with that commercial? You know what I mean? Let's promote that. Let's make that popular. If it's a commercial for degradation of ourselves, of backwardness, of shucking and jiving and bullshitting, you know, and you know, just idiot consumeritis. If it's a commercial for that, then you know I have a problem with it. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? But I think we shouldn't separate the culture of hip hop from the business and the empowerment that comes with, you know, the economic potential of hip hop. Because that's the problem, is when we first started doing hip hop, so to speak, we were just doing it for the culture. We weren't concerned about the business, and then somebody came along that was concerned about the business. And now we are held hostage as a culture by people who don't give a fuck about this culture. So we do have to look at hip hop as something that can empower us economically. You know what I mean? And we don't need to demonize that. You know what I mean?
And I'm about getting paid all the way around the world. Early in the morning, and I'm standing in the kitchen.
That's not a conflict, that's a compliment. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make a living spreading this message. You know what I mean? One without the other is what? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's got, you know, the idea is, though, it's got to be looked at as more than, like, you know, I'm greedy, you know, unscrupulous, avaricious, oil tycoon, greedy man. You know what I'm saying? That's not what it's about. Right. And even though capitalism is a part of what it is, you know what I'm saying? And we recognize it, and you know it in our music that we recognize our enemy. The idea is that we'll be able to sustain ourselves doing the things that's going to help people. That's what it is. And it's even more than like, you know, is it a conflict? You know, the idea is that, like, as a gorilla, you got to use everything you have in your surrounding to fashion as a tool to kill the enemy. Everything you have, you know what I mean? If you're in the office, use a paper clip. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you're on the streets, you got what you got. You know what I mean? And you know, if you go running for office in the White House, you use what you use. You feel what I'm saying? But that's our guerrilla attack. That's the gorillism. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Every day is a hustle. I got to keep grinding. I'm on the phone, handling my business.
Yeah, it was a blessing, man. MA basically had, you know, the link, and we went out and just got it in the studio, creative, and we just worked. And submitted shit and like, you know, Nas is an incredible artist and lyricist. like amazing, you know what I mean? Just as a fan and a student of this shit, just to work with him, like I was really inspired, you know what I mean, by his craft and how good this dude is, you know, doing what he do. So that it was a blessing for me, just, you know, for my craft, you know, and you know what I mean, and I was happy that he chose some stuff. We got like 3 songs, I think, that's gonna be. Yeah, a little YouTube of Slopbox, yeah. And this song, a song we did with one of my homeboys in Atlanta, did the singing on. It's called "We're Not Alone." You know, I produced that, and then the Untitled, the title track. So it's a blessing, man. Hopefully we'll be able to do a lot more stuff. We did so many records that, you know, didn't even make it on his project. That's hard. You know what I mean? Some harder than the ones he picked, but you know what I mean? It's a blessing, and you know, I'm looking forward to working with other artists. You know, I want to work with Red Hot Chili Peppers. You know what I mean? I want to produce for Game. You know what I mean? You know, Raheem Devon, D'Angelo. You know what I mean? Do it on the R&B as well as the hardcore hip hop. You know what I mean? So we looking forward to it.
Handling my business, I'm rocking shows. Handling my business, yeah, I think they hate me.
I mean, it was in the internet and the papers. Like we ain't even ever talk about it. You know what I mean? Like where I'm from, you know, I know the history of the white terrorism on our community with that word and the culture behind that word. And I also know that Tupac came along and said NIGGA is never ignorant getting goals accomplished. So to me, it's semantics. You know what I mean? It's really like, let that man call his album whatever he want to call it, and as art, you can like it, you can not like it, you can debate it, you can discuss it, but definitely let that man speak his mind. You know what I mean? If we don't do that, well, you can't be running around talking about freedom and democracy and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Handling my business, I'm in the booth. Handling my business, I'm on a plane.
Wow, I never heard that.
I mean, you know, the song is doing what it's supposed to do. You know, I think it's it communicates a dual message, and the track is banging, so people are gonna dance to it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like the government would say, you know, have the people to dance along with your oppression, but we say dance along with the revolution. So that is cool, and that's the thing that makes it like back and forth. You know, for us, it's nothing but good. You know what I mean? I can see why it can become a conflict, because, you know, people want to like the song and support it mainstream. You know, people like Dave Chappelle have been instrumental in helping that song become more on the scene than it was. You know what I'm saying? You know, but it's that same, you know, the same energy in the production that, and went into that as the everything else on Let's Get Free and other things that we've gone on to produce. And our intention is to get into the space, this place, and still do what we do.
Well, information age, it's a whole nother level, a whole different page as far as doing that. We always trying to get better at what we do. We're not trying to settle and say, oh, let's repeat this. You know what I mean? We trying to say, we was on to something right there. How can we expand on that? Or how can we turn a sharp right or a sharp left and do something different and stay fresh? And you know what I mean? So that's what we did with Information Age, all new sound. You know what I mean? Not like nothing we ever put out. You know what I mean? But definitely the hardest message, you know what I mean, that we have to give. You know what I mean?
On the low from Popo, blowing middle finger kids. It's my freedom if a privilege, and ain't no need to risk. Get my paper.
Man, I'll say, and then let my partner speak. I think black comedy, like in the not buffoonery, but the black comedians who are artists and scientists at what they do, I think is one of the most effective ways to have a dialogue, you know, with a mass amount of people about, you know, race, power, religion, you name it. You know what I mean? Because it's light enough. You know what I mean, that people can see the humor in situations, but the realness of it is what make you relate to it. You know what I mean? And why you're even laughing, because you know that shit is true. You know what I mean? So, you know, I think that's, you know, a part of the black community in America, from Richard Pryor, you know what I mean, to, you know, Paul Mooney and different comedians. Like they and Red Fox and you name it, the stories they was talking about and telling, even though we was laughing and shit, was our stories. It was our issues with the system in a certain kind of way. Dick Gregory, you know what I mean? So I don't look at real comedy as like some just, you know, it's some bullshit. It's very important. Chris Rock, it's the issues, and it's a format that's not aggressive, and you know, and they, as long as they feel like you laughing and shit, they ain't censoring it. You feel me? They trying to censor the music, they trying to censor everything, but the comedians say what the fuck they want to say, because it's all in the name of fun. So it's a way that a gorilla, like M was saying, you know what I'm saying? If you know, if you got something to say,
all I got to say is get up on. All I got to say is get up on Eddie Griffin, Freedom of Speech. Yeah. It's kind of new comedy out. It ain't, you know, it's out on DVD. Eddie Griffin, who is a semi-popular sitcom television star in the U.S. and Hollywood actor.
From Malcolm and Eddie.
Right. Get up on that, Freedom of Speech, and it relates to every comic that we name down the line. Is able to walk the line between, that subtle line between comedy and reality. Just like we're at Dead Prez is able to walk that subtle line between hip hop and reality. You know what I'm saying?
Better yet, get your wig split. Swimming with the fear shit. Ain't no genie, no bottle, and ain't no three weird shit. Don't fuck with no sleep.
I think what you talking about, we did a show in Washington, Olympia, Washington, and in this place that we did the show, there was some tension between the population, the local population, and the police, because of how the police had unjustly been treating people, beating people down at protests. So that it was, you know how the police do. You know what I mean? Basically, but the people weren't going for it. So there had been resistance and tensions. You know what I mean? Because of this, and it hadn't been resolved. No, certain people still being railroaded in that situation, and parents as well as kids that go to the school, you know, were on the side that the police were in the wrong, and do be in the wrong, and they're arm of the Bush regime and all that shit. So and in that climate, you know, we were invited to perform. You know what I mean? So they try to make it like it was a riot at our show, but it was way bigger than us. Yeah, it was way bigger than us. We did what we do, how we do when we do what we do, and but the police did that also. You know what I mean? So the people decided that that they wanted justice right on the spot. You know what I mean? And so that's basically what went down. You know what I mean? And I was proud of the people standing up. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm gonna say it like that.
So the people can witness. Got to choose your side. You can't be riding no fences.
Man, my hopes is past Barack Obama. My hopes is for power and freedom for our community, for oppressed people around the world. It's way past Obama. I hope the whole system fall. Like, you know what I mean? I hope, that's what I hope. You know what I mean? So I hope we don't fall for the okie doke. You know what I mean? That's what I hope. Because Bush is definitely an asshole and definitely a megalomaniac, capitalist, imperialist motherfucker. But he get it from his daddy. You know what I mean? And he get it from his daddy. So what is it? The system. Whoever you stick up there in there is not fundamentally changing the system. You know what I mean? And it's about to make people have hope and faith in the system, which I feel like would be the real okie doke. You know what I mean? It's okay to have hope and faith and want change, but if you don't realize the system is what's causing us to be suffering all these conditions. The system, not Bush. He just one motherfucker. The system has been doing that since 500 years. So, you know, my hope is that we recognize that, and what I want to see change is an alternative way of life, economically, politically, collectively, culturally, that can sustain people without certain people have to scrape the bottom and be the victims of the motherfuckers that's living on top of the hill. You know what I'm saying?
Believe will come around, go around. I live this. Know the feds is tapping my phone, Joe. Who is this?
Yeah, I think they hate me cause they see your boy shine.
Salute. Thank you.